Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hope so you are fine and I'm here, your host, your tutor, Mr. Muhammad Ahsanul Haq. And our today's topic is about the title and introduction of thesis. In this lecture, we will learn about that how to write an attractive title of a thesis and how to write a good introduction of a thesis. Before it, we have already learned about different parts of thesis, and we have taken the introduction about a thesis, that what's thesis, what are its different parts, and now we are going to discuss all the parts one by one, that how to write them and how to make them attractive. So first of all, we will discuss about the title, and then we will discuss about the introduction of thesis. So thesis title must reflect content of the thesis. All right. Your title of the thesis must be concise, but it must be informative. It must reflect all the contents of thesis. A person who read the title of your thesis, the title should reflect all the things in your thesis, or you can say that if a person read the title of your thesis, he will know everything about your thesis, that what have you done and what are the salient features of your thesis and what is done in your research. Suppose that here is an example, that physicochemical and functional properties of ozone oxidized starch. All right, so here in this title, it's clearly mentioned that what are the functional properties of oxidized starch. All right, and here what are the major things that should be included in the title of your thesis, that it must be specific and it must be accurate. All right, and you should avoid phrases just like a study of, an investigation of, and how to do, how to mention, how to measure, and all these types of phrases. You don't never use these. So make your title concise, informative, accurate, and specific. All right, and here we will go for the introduction of your thesis, which is the chapter 1 of your thesis. We will discuss about that what are the major key points which should be mentioned in the introduction of thesis, and how we should write it, and what are the points that we should avoid while writing the introduction of thesis, and what are the major things that we should include in the introduction of our thesis. So first of all, we will discuss about the major and main purpose of the introduction. So the major purpose of the introduction should be to supply sufficient background information. All right, that what is done in the background of this research, what have been done. All right, to allow the reader to understand and evaluate the results of the present study. All right, the introduction will reflect the importance of your study, that why we are going to do this study. It must provide the rationale of the study, that what's the need of this study, why I am doing this, what was done in the background, what the other scientists have done, what were their results, and why I am doing this. All right, so choose the references carefully to provide the most salient background. All right, the background must be salient and it must be accurate. So a description of the general problem followed by a statement of specific problem and the motivation for the study. So in introduction, here is a very concise definition, that is a description of the general problem. All right, first of all, we will write about the general problem, that what is the general problem. So that my general problem is diabetes. All right, followed by a statement of specific problem. So here I will specify my problem, that suppose that my general problem was diabetes, and now my specific problem is the prevalence of diabetes in my country. All right, And here I must give the motivation for the study, that what are the key points which motivated me for the study. So these must be my rationale, my research problem, my research question, and the research gaps. All right, the research gap will be I will find the research gap from the previous studies when I will study them, and when I will discuss them, and when I will write my introduction and literature review, then I will find the major research gaps in the previous studies. So here, what to write in the introduction? So first of all, what do we know about the topic? That what's given in my topic? What's my topic? All right. So I will provide comprehensive and critical review of the major findings in the area. All right. What we don't know. Don't know means what are the gap in knowledge? What should be known? All right, identify what gaps in our current understanding of the field are, and why it is important that these gaps be closed. So I should mention the research gaps and the things which are unknown to me, that I don't know. There's a gap in my knowledge. All right, and what we are now showing a clear statement and summarizing what's known, what need to be learned, and what your paper aim to accomplish. What are the aims? I mean that what are the objectives of my research? I will mention all these things, that what is known about the topic, and then I will give the gap, that what is the knowledge gap and what is the research gap, and then I will discuss about my aim and my objectives of my research. And now here I will discuss about that how I can write a good introduction, that how I should write different paragraphs of introduction. So start off the first paragraph of introduction, or the start of my introduction of my thesis should provide a brief background. So brief background, context, relevance, and the nature of problem, question, purpose, what is known, and all these things. In the first question, I will give a bit about the background of my topic. All right, and here I will also mention that what's my research question and why I am doing it. And in the second paragraph, it may include the importance of problem and unclear issues. Here I will give the rationale of my study, that what is the importance of this topic, why I am doing this, and what is unknown. Here I will mention the gaps. Basically, in the first paragraph, I mentioned that it is my problem. So that diabetes is a general problem, and the prevalence of diabetes in my country is my specific problem. And here in the first paragraph, I will write about the diabetes I will give about the background of diabetes, that it's a very dangerous disease, and it's an autoimmune disease, and all the things, its risk factors and all these things. And then when I write that why I'm doing this study in the second paragraph, I will write that it's a major, it is going to be a major disease in my country. Its prevalence is going to be very high in the coming a few years. All right, and then in the last paragraph, we should state the rationale, hypothesis, the importance of my study. Here I will give the importance of my study. I will give the hypothesis. I will give the main objective and purpose of the study. So I will summarize this slide, that first of all I will give the background of the study, then I will give the gap of study, and then I will give the rationale, that why I am doing this, what's the need of doing this, and what's the importance of this research. I will give the main objectives of my research. So first of all, I will give the general background, as alkalizing agents are important in preparation of many traditional starch-based food products. So that I'm writing introduction. So everyone knows that alkalizing agents are important in many traditional starch-based food products. These are used in the food products and different other things. For example, include the use of lime in the production of tortillas and many other things. Suppose that Chinese wheat noodles and waxy rice and all these things. So here rationale and the problem statement is that despite the age-old use of alkalizing agent, there is still much which is unknown. So which is unknown. So here I will give all the things that which are unknown, that what other uses of these alkalizing agents can be done. All right. So I can find the other uses of these agents. So here, connecting the problem statement to the objective. So I have given that what's my problem statement. So that I was discussing about the diabetes. So my problem statement was that the prevalence of diabetes in my country. So then I discussed about the gap of the study. Then I gave the purpose of my study. Then I gave the objectives of my study, that I want to find the prevalence, and I want to find the knowledge score of different people, and I want to know about the lifestyle of the people, and I want to know the reason of this high prevalence. All right. So here I will connect my problem statement to the objectives of my study. So that here in the example, in the slide, the influence of alkalizing agents on the thermal properties of starch. So in the background we have studied about the use of alkalizing agent in different food products. So here I am discussing about the thermal properties of starch, has yet to be studied in great details. So it was the gap. So here now I will give the differentiate the effect of sodium carbonate and thermal profiles associated with gelatinization of starch, to quantify, to characterize, and these are the my research gaps, and these are my objectives, that what are the objectives of my study. So thank you so much. Hope so it was helpful for you. So in the end I will summarize all the things. First of all, you will give the a bit background of your study, then you will describe your problem statement, then you will describe the gap in research, that what are the gaps, what is not done by other scientists, and then you will write the rationale, that why I am doing this, what are the reasons of doing behind this research, and at the end you will write the objectives of your research. So it was all about the introduction, and while you are writing the title of your thesis, it must be concise. Don't write too long title, and don't write too short title. All right, keep it very simple. You don't use too much difficult wording. Your words, your title words must be very simple, easy to understand, and it must reflect all the contents of your research work and your thesis. So it was all about it. Hope so it was helpful for you. If you have any question, you can ask me in comment, and you can write me in my inbox. So we'll meet you in the next lecture, that how to write literature review. And at the end, I will say again that don't forget to subscribe CSA Pakistan. Take care. Allah Hafiz.